What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Ciara, aka CIVRIE. I am a makeup artist based out of Denver, and I am here to do a makeup tutorial for you guys today. I have a new backdrop, which is this area that you see behind me here. I like it so much better than where I was filming. Although I am sitting away from my window, which I used for majority of my lighting, I was able to configure my lighting setup to produce, I think, really good lighting in this area. I just like this more for my backdrop because there's a little bit more to look at behind me as opposed to just a really blank wall. It gives me the opportunity to do more decorations and just to play up my room a little bit better, and it also opens up a lot more of the space in my room, so I really like the way that it turned out. In today's video, I am going to be doing quite a bit of first impressions over some products that I have never even touched before but have been holding on to for some time. So they may not be new on the market, but they are new to me. A few of them are new on the market. For example, the eyeshadow palette that I'm using today. These are the new Huda Beauty Obsession palettes, and this is the shade Amethyst, which is the purple tone palette. They also have pink, orange, green, and blue, but today's tutorial is going to be on this one right here. I'm also going to be touching base on a few other new products that I picked up, so if you guys want to see what I think of them, then definitely stay tuned. I already have my eyebrows filled in. As always, I did use a different technique to fill them in today, so I will be filming an updated eyebrow tutorial soon. It's using one of the new shades by Benefit. This is Capri in the shade 4.5, which is like an eyebrow gel, and then I used a little bit of my remaining Anastasia Beverly Hills, so keep an eye out for that video. To get things started, I am going to just prime my eyelids with a little bit of concealer, and I am using mostly new products today, but the concealer that I'm going to be using is not new. This is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I use a pretty generous amount to prime my eyes. I want to make sure that they're evenly coated and that the base is pretty light for the eyeshadow that I'm going to be going in with on top of it. Another new product that I'm going to be using is this beauty sponge. This one is by Sigma Beauty, and they've had this out for a while. I recently just started using this again, and I forgot how much I loved it. It has a lot of really unique angles to it, so it can really fit into different like shapes of your face. For example, like this curve here can fit right up into my eyebrow to blend out my concealer, but also the corner fitting right into the crease there. I really like this sponge, and I also do have a code with Sigma Beauty, so this sponge can be 10% off if you use code CIVRIE. I'm so excited to be able to recommend products to you guys, but also provide you an option to save money as well. If you didn't know, if you do use the affiliate code, I do receive a small commission, so I greatly appreciate you guys using my code. If you don't want to though, you certainly do not have to. The palette that I'm going to be using today is the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsessions palette. This is the purple tone palette out of the set that she had just recently released, and I absolutely love the mix of mattes and metallics in this palette here. So I am going to be creating a pretty vibrant look on my eyes. I am very limited on my brushes. I do have quite a few that I have to wash, so I'm going to be using a hodgepodge of brushes today, but they're still really good quality. This first one is by Eco Tools. I'm not entirely sure what brush this is, but it's a dual-ended brush. One half has a really small end, and then the other half is a little bit more of a blending brush. The first shade that I'm going to go in with is going to be this corner shade here, and you want to make sure that you don't have any creases on the lid before you go in with shadow, and I'm just going to place this directly into the crease. Do you guys remember when transition shades were a thing? When you would go in with like a nude shade to put down in your crease? That was a time. I'm just going back in with more of that same shade just to build up the depth as much as I can with the same color. Next, I'm going to take this shade right up here. I'm going to focus the product more on the tip of the brush this time and use a little bit heavier of pressure to put it deeper into the crease. I don't think this shade is much of a contrast compared to the other one. I think those two matte shades in the order that I used them are coming off pretty similar, so I'm just gonna go in with this darker shade here right off of the bat, again with that same brush, and I'm going to take that right into the crease, focusing it on this outer portion here, really using the shape of my eyeball as a guide for my brush. So just resting it right on my eyeball and then you want to look straight ahead so that you can just blend it right up against the shape of your eyeball. Once most of the product is distributed, you use a lot lighter of pressure to just slowly buff it upward. Periodically, I'll just use my beauty sponge to clean up that edge there. This palette is blending out really well. The colors work really well with each other, and they don't seem to lose too much of their pigmentation when you're buffing them, so I'm liking them so far. They're doing what I want them to do. I'm not entirely sure what shape of eye look I want to do today, so I'm just gonna go ahead and deepen this outer corner just to be safe. And we're gonna make this tutorial a little bit easier because not everybody can do a really crisp cut crease, which does take so much practice and so much time and patience, and who really has time for that on the daily? So I'm just gonna take a little bit of concealer actually on my finger, and I'm going to use that to prime my eyelid just a little bit more before I put down some shimmer, but it doesn't have to be too perfect. You just want to place it down right on the inner portion there with your finger and really use pressure to blend it in with the shadow. So you kind of gave yourself a cut crease there, but it's not necessarily a legitimate cut crease because it's not crisp and cut. So once I have that shade down there, I'm gonna go in with this top corner shade here, just on my finger again, and I'm gonna go right over the concealer that we just put down. Once I have that concealer pretty much coated, I'm gonna take the residual that's on my finger and just lightly dust over the crease. You wanna put a little bit of that shimmer shade over the seams so that they are more seamless. Once I have that shade down, I'm gonna create a little bit more depth. I'm gonna go in with this corner shade here, again, just on my finger, and I'm gonna go right into the center, focusing more towards the inner corner along the lash line. These two shades here have a little bit more of a chunky glitter to them, so I'm gonna go in with this middle one here and just kind of go over top of everything that we just did. And then with this top shade here, using a different finger, I'm gonna go ahead and tap the outer corner to blend that into the darkest shade. I'm gonna go in with this very bottom shade here, and I'm going to tap over that very corner and then just use light flicking pressure to blend it into all the other colors. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly do the other eye off camera. Don't judge the blend on this eye because I will cry. The next new product that we're going to be trying out today is going to be by CoverGirl. They recently came out with an eyelash primer as well as a mascara. These are both infused with coconut oil, which will help make your eyelashes super soft and luscious and 20 times longer. So I'm going to be trying them out today, and I'm going to be using the primer as well as the mascara. As I said in my last video, am so over false eyelashes, so hopefully this primer will give my eyelashes like the effect that they're false. I'm really gonna coat these babies. I want to look like I just got eyelash extensions. I want to look like Kim Kardashian. I want to look like Kylie Jenner. I want to look like I'm wearing Lily lashes in the style Miami. I want to look like I have 6 pair of Ardell Wispies on. Then I'm going to top it off with the mascara. Should I have let the primer dry more? Did I ruin it? Awesome. Now I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my complexion. I wanna have really dewy foundation today, so I'm gonna be using this Luminizer by Buxom. This is called Divine Goddess. I'm gonna be taking a little bit of this on my hands and honestly just using this as a primer. That actually made my face really sticky, not entirely, ooh, kind of got a little bit of a dew. Okay, the next thing that I'm gonna do is go in with this complexion prepping spray by Urban Decay. This is called Rebound, so it's collagen infused. It's supposed to give your skin more bounce, more life. The foundation that I'm using today is not new. You guys already know I'm using the IT Cosmetics CC cream. This is my hands down all-time favorite foundation. I mean, cream. It is full coverage, so it's technically a foundation, but it doesn't feel like a foundation. It's really, really lightweight. It feels like a CC cream. I absolutely love, 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 love the finish of it. I rave about it in all of my videos, so you guys already know. This beauty sponge is really great, especially if you do your eyebrows or eyeshadow first, because it has really nice angles to it, so you can really just get it right along the edges of your brow. I do have a little bit remaining on the back of my hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that to touch up any areas that I want a little bit more coverage. Next thing that I'm gonna do is go in with concealer. This one is the MAC Studio Fix Concealer in this shade NC15. This isn't necessarily a new product in a sense that I've been using it for the past couple weeks, but it is new on the market. So if you guys are interested in a new concealer, MAC just came out with a huge shade range, so I definitely recommend that you check those out. I do really like to use this full coverage concealer to build the effect of a really bright under eye. I'm gonna go in with another shade of the MAC Studio Fix Concealer. This is in the shade NW42, and I'm gonna use this to contour my face the same way that I used the Rimmel London Contour Duo Stick. However, I ran out of that guy. Now that all my cream products are down, I'm gonna be using a translucent setting powder to set it all. This one here is a new one that I picked up by Milk Makeup. This is the Blur and Set Matte Loose Setting Powder. So I'm gonna be trying this out for the first time. It has a really cute little, sponge in there. And then you open up the top here and there's a sticker, as well as like a little shield, so you make sure none of it gets out. And then there's a little sifter on the top here. I don't think that I'm gonna be able to pick up enough product with the sifter, but we're gonna see here. What do we think? Did it blur? It's really, really fine, so I don't think that I'm picking any up on my beauty sponge, but I'm pretty sure I am. Like, especially when I like tap it in there, a lot of like powder flies up, so I'm pretty sure I'm getting a lot of it onto my sponge. I actually really like the way that this powder set the foundation. Normally I'm worried that it's gonna take away the finish of the foundation, but it actually set it really, really well. The next new product that I'm gonna be trying out is gonna be by TheBalm. This is the bronzer in Bahama Mama. So I'm gonna be taking this shade just to kind of further contour my face. The first brush that I'm gonna be using is a Morphe E20 brush, and I'm gonna be taking this to contour my nose. Really focusing on the tip of my nose, as that's where I mainly like to contour. And then also just using it to lightly set the sides, focusing more towards the top of the nose. Using that same bronzer, I'm gonna go in with a Morphe E53 brush and further contour my cheekbones. I'm gonna be using a lot of patting motions for this because I don't want to disturb any foundation underneath. And for blush, I'm gonna be trying out a new one. This one is not necessarily new on the market, but it is new to me. This is by Kevyn Aucoin, and this is the Neo Bronzer Blush Highlight Ombre. It is bronzer, blush, and highlight, so I'm going to be using mainly the blush shade here, but I'm going to be kind of like focusing more on this region. So I'm really gonna focus on that blush and really get at all the apples here. Oh yeah, that's nice. And I'm gonna go back in with my beauty sponge and really just melt it all together. I'm gonna be using a little bit of my Huda Beauty translucent powder just to clean up the edges of my contour and anywhere that blush got a little bit cray. Now while that is setting a little bit, I'm gonna go in and finish off my under eyes. So I'm gonna go back in with that palette by Huda Beauty, and then I'm gonna be taking that Eco Tools brush, but not the blending end, the other end. And I'm gonna be repeating the same pattern that we did on top. So the first shade that I'm gonna be going in with is this bottom corner here. I do want to mention that this palette does have quite a bit less kickback than the Sapphire palette. That is the blue one that I created a look with yesterday. So if you're interested in seeing that look, it's over on my Instagram. I didn't record a tutorial for it. Pigmentation wise, they're pretty much really similar. This one just has quite a bit less kickback. I'm now gonna be taking that darker shade there, the one that we used on the outer corner, and I'm gonna be using this right along the eyelash line. Normally I just say lash line, so eyelash is kind of really weird to just throw in there with it. I want to throw a pop of color into the waterline. I'm going to be taking the Everlasting Lip Liner by Kat Von D in the shade Swoon, and I'm going to be applying that to my waterline. This is a lip product, so I don't necessarily recommend you putting it on your waterline or close to your eye, but I have been forever, and I absolutely love the opacity that these have in the waterline, and they also stay really, really well as well. So to really contrast that eyeliner, I'm going to be taking Anastasia Beverly Hills number 12 brush, and I'm going to be taking that darkest shade again and really just pressing it up against that eyeliner. I'm also going to be curling my eyelashes. I always do this as like the last possible step because you want to make sure that your eyelashes are completely dry. I'm also going to be taking some eyebrow gel. This is by Benefit. This is the 24-hour brow setter, and this stuff really sets your eyebrows. Like the Anastasia brow gel, that was like a glue stick. Like it just holds them down. Like it's pretty tough, but like if you try really hard, just like kind of wipe it away. This stuff is like super glue. Like it crusts your eyebrows exactly where you placed them. And then to finish off the eyes, I'm just gonna use a little bit of mascara along the lower lashes. And then before we set the face, you wanna make sure that you dust away any setting powder because you don't want to set that powder with liquid. Finishing off with my Urban Decay All Nighter. I'm just gonna go in with this lip liner by CoverGirl. This is in the shade In the Nude. Also by CoverGirl, I'm gonna take a little bit of a deeper shade. This is Caramel Nude, and I'm just going to use that to line certain parts of my lips to really create the illusion that they're a lot bigger than they actually are. For my highlighter, I'm going to be taking the Killawatt Duo in Fire Crystal and Lightning Dust by Fenty Beauty, and I'm going to be using this to highlight my face. Gonna add a touch of gloss to the center of my mouth here. And that, my friends, is the completed look. I had so much fun filming this tutorial and trying out all of these new products. Some of them I have definitely really liked. Others I'm a little bit indifferent about, but I'm definitely going to keep trying them. Nothing was an absolute no, so I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. I hope that you guys were able to pick up on a few new products yourself. I have a new excitement as far as filming tutorials, so I definitely am really enjoying this new setup here. It's giving me a lot more motivation to produce content. content. So thank you guys so much for bearing with me. Be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as turn on the notification bell because I don't have a YouTube upload schedule just yet, so I'm not entirely sure when I upload. It's very sporadic. Make sure that you have those notifications turned on so that you never miss one. I also always post when my uploads are live on my Instagram, so if you want to follow me there, it is CIVRIE on Instagram. I have all of the other social media, so Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter as well. Everything across the board is CIVRIE, so if you do want to find me, I would absolutely love being your friend. Feel free to leave a comment down below as far as new products that you have picked up on or any of these products that you've tried and also loved. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next video.